Rise. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love, support, and kindness to the channel. Of course, if you are new here, a warm welcome to you. I hope you'll become a part of this wonderful tribe where we talk about all things healing, lifting our vibration, and rising to become the best version of ourselves. I am on this journey with you, friends. So excited, so very honored to be a part of your journey and you a part in mine. Happy Lunar New Year. This is the official start of the wood snake and the wood snake year, and this is a very transformative year. I want to share with you a little bit about the year of the snake, what we can expect, and how we can use the wood snake energy to help transform our own lives and help transform our year. For those of you that do not know, I am also part Japanese, and in my culture, we celebrate the Lunar New Year, and there are certain traditions and things that I partake in, and that this has been passed down to me from generation to generation. And so I want to share with you what I do in my own culture as well. And just kind of go over a little bit about the snake energy and some insight on that and how it can help you and transform your life. So a snake is a very, very powerful creature. It must shed its skin or die. There's just no other way. And I feel that the snake energy invites us that particular question of what are we needing to shed in our life in order to transform ourselves and step into the fullest version, best version of ourselves. What are we having to let go of? And this could be limiting beliefs, old patterns, old ways of doing things that no longer serve our journey. They're no longer working. It doesn't fit the person that we are becoming. This year is going to be a big opportunity for growth and to experience a different reality, but we have to make different choices. It is also a healing year, and snakes embody that energy of healing. Anyways, also, so I want to talk about the Japanese traditions because, like I said, I am part Japanese, so I love to share what we do in my culture. And this is something that I do even here back in the States because I can't be back in Japan. But we do what is called otoshidama, which is we give money and we put it in these really cute little cards, and we give it to the children, we give it to our elders, grandparents, even parents, as a way of like wishing them good luck for the new year. So that's something that I remember as a kid. I always used to get these little cards filled with money. We also eat soba noodles, so you can also eat like ramen noodles, buckwheat noodles, but it represents longevity and good health. So that is one thing that we always do for the new year. We also are big on deep cleaning. Hello. We also do deep cleaning. So we clean our house almost religiously, like just in preparation for the new year, because whatever we are not cleaning and trying to organize, we carry into the next year, to the new year. So that is something that's very, very important to do. Also, it's like clearing out bad energy. So you don't want to like have stuck energy, stagnant energy in your house. Also, clearing out energy, a good way for that, we also open up our windows and doors. I particularly do not open up my door, but I will open up the windows in the house to help clear out energy. And that is something that I feel is like very, very powerful in the new year, and that's something that I was always taught to do. Also, with the snake energy, it is really about turning pain into power, letting go of old beliefs, negativity, anger, and that allows for true transformation to occur, to help you embody the new. Like the snake can't continue to live on in its old skin. It has to shed its skin or die. And that's kind of like what this year is representing to us on a global stage, like collectively. We are being asked to let go of certain patterns that ultimately are not conducive to our transformation of our world. There are things that are literally killing the planet. There are things that are literally destroying us as a society that we either are going to have to change, or, Mother Nature is going to have its say. So snake energy is also about rebirth. It really grabs our attention to see that endings are not just endings, they're a gateway for new beginnings. And also representative of Kundalini energy, yogic practices. So the snake being coiled at the base of the spine, that is going to be, yes, I definitely agree. You really do. There's so much you have to shed. There's so much that has to be said. And I feel like, even with our new president, there's a lot of truths that are coming out. There's a lot of things that are being shed. And a lot of people don't like to hear the truth. But on the flip side of it, the truth hurts, but we need to hear it, and we need to be awakened to the things that are occurring, Otherwise, we can't transform and we can't make changes. So I remember like a week ago, I had a vision of a blue flame candle. And right after I had this blue flame candle vision, it turned into a gun. It was like a revolver. And then it just like disappeared. And I felt instantly that message was like, the truth hurts, the truth hurts. And that's what's going to be happening a lot right now, is like globally, we're going to see a lot of things that the truth really does hurt. It does. But if we aren't seeing the truth, if we're not going to open ourselves to the truth, we're going to be stuck in old ways of doing things, false beliefs, false patterns, things that are just, are lies. We're going to just kind of create our world with lies. So, that was a really interesting vision that I had, and that was the only thing I took away from it, was the truth hurts. So another thing I wanted to share was that like snakes have a really hard time seeing and hearing. So snakes rely heavily on their instincts, on feeling the vibration of their environment and their sense of smell. That is what guides them to make decisions and to discern whether or not a certain situation is best for their safety or not. So it really calls on us too to be discerning of our environment and to feel into our intuition of what is not good for us. So a good way to tap into the snake energy, call on the snake energy when you are in conflict with a certain person or situation, when you can't distinguish whether or not that person or situation is good for you. And the snake energy will help you to discern whether or not a certain person or situation is actually good for you. You will feel it. And this is why I say in a lot of my videos, it's so important to open yourself to feeling, because the more that you feel, the more you will heal. But the more you feel, the more you're also going to invite all of that good energy to help you. You'll be able to instantly feel like this energy of like tapping into different energies, tapping into ascended masters, tapping into animal energy. It will literally open you up. A lot of people don't talk about this. This has been like huge for helping me on my journey. And in like my last video where I talked about being embodied with the energy of Jesus, it literally is all about feeling. You just have to keep allowing yourself to feel, but that also requires you to feel the things that are uncomfortable. We have to get to a place where we're comfortable with feeling, because there's no other way. Whatever we are experiencing, we're experiencing for a reason. So we have to be able to allow ourselves to feel the uncomfortable. It's not always going to be roses and rainbows here. We have to sit with and feel uncomfortable energy. So, and I feel like if you guys already know, this year has already kind of started out that way, where we're kind of having to feel a lot of things we don't want to feel. I know collectively there's so much going on, and it has been kind of a journey for myself too. But every time I allow myself to feel something uncomfortable, there's always this like better feeling after that. There's like this feeling of peace that comes through once I have allowed and accepted to feel anxiety, to feel uncomfortable, to feel overwhelmed, whatever the energy is. Every time I open myself to feeling that, this energy of peace comes through. And you just got to keep doing it. You got to keep practicing it and make it a habit. Just keep allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable, and be graceful with yourself. If you're at work and you're having like an overwhelming episode, ask to take a few minutes if you're able to and just do some deep breathing and accept whatever is going on. I promise you, the more you can accept, the quicker the energy comes through you. So that's like my 2 cents on that. So also the snake energy, it really invites us and asks us to go within and emerge with a higher consciousness, letting go of old stories, old judgments about ourselves, about others. This is going to be very reflective in our year, especially with new power, new presidential power, all of the things that are shifting, and even globally, a lot of different countries are going to have different shifts in power. But I feel like this is going to be a lot of going within. Every time we want to point the finger and we want to blame other people and we don't like our reality, it's calling for us to go within, because our reality is a sense of everything within us. So everything we don't like, we have to really accept within us. This is like a part of the shadow work. It's like everything you're not liking about other people, every trigger you have to go within and heal that, accept that. Because once you do, you can come from a 0 point space, this space of neutrality, where you're not going to judge what you don't like. And you're not going to condemn or put down what you don't like. You can still disagree and still have your opinion, but it's not going to trigger you and it's not going to hurt you or affect you. So it's about accepting and letting go of the judgments of the outer stage. Whatever's in your reality is for you. So please take note of that. So snakes in different cultures. Snakes represent protection in Buddhism. I don't know if I shared with you guys, on some of my old videos I've talked about this. I grew up in a split religion household, my mom being Buddhist and my dad Baptist. So you can imagine the kind of life I've had, where I've had my dad telling me that I'm Baptist from a really young age, and my mom kind of, introducing me to Buddhism and kind of, not pressuring me, but telling me to look into it. I mean, I know I have a lot of people always ask me, how did that marriage work? You have 2 parents that have different religions. How did that work? I'm going to tell you, there were so many times that there were arguments, and I remember distinctively as a kid, we were about to pray, and I think it was like Easter dinner, and my mom, had a really hard time, was not wanting to do the normal prayer that my dad was doing, my dad Baptist. It was really hard. That really stuck with me. That moment in time, I think I was like 9 years old, it really stuck with me because I couldn't understand why it mattered, why my dad got so upset about my mom not praying, why she had to pray. My dad only prayed when it was, a holiday kind of thing. None of it made sense to me, but this was part of my journey to understanding the truth, because I started to pray as a kid. And I used to wonder, like, why do my parents have different religions? And I used to be scared as a kid. I used to ask, God, if you are real, please give me like the right religion, because I don't want to go to hell. And people were telling me as a kid, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in God. And I was like, but my mom's Buddhist, and my mom is like one of the sweetest, loving people you will ever meet in your life. And I was like, there's no way she's going to hell. You can't tell me that. So I remember just being terrified, and I used to pray about it. And I, over the years, have been shown that God does not care about religion. God does not care about what your faith is. God just cares that you do have faith, and that you do have a loving heart, and that you keep coming back to your heart, to yourself, and honoring this space, honoring your faith, whatever it is. Because that's been the truth, at least for my journey, is God doesn't really care about your faith. He just, what religion you are. God cares about you just embodying the faith, embodying yourself, your truest self, knowing your true self, not your ego self. So yeah, Buddhism is about protection with the snake. And supposedly Buddha was in deep meditation under a Bodhi tree, and there was a huge storm that was coming. He didn't know it was coming, and there was a cobra, a snake, that popped out of the tree and protected the snake from being, I guess, swept away, the Buddha. So in Buddhism, it really is a symbol of protection. Snakes are representative of protection. In Egypt, snakes are representative of eternal life. So they're adorned wearing crowns of pharaohs. So it's huge thing in Egypt. Snakes, and I'm sure you guys have known that, snakes are a powerful force. In Africa, snakes are representative of deceased loved ones, and it's taboo to kill a snake. Like, you could probably be like jailed if you kill a snake in Africa. In Japan, where I'm from, they are representative of eternal youth, which is why when I came across that, I kind of laughed, because I was like, people always think I'm younger than I look, and I'm not going to tell you my age, but people always think I'm way younger than what I am. And I just think that maybe it's in my genetics, because I'm part Japanese and snakes are representative of eternal youth. I was born the year of the snake, so I don't know if like I embody that as well. I don't know, I just had to add that in there. But they're representative of eternal youth because of their ability to shed their skin and regrow their skin. They're seen as guardians, protectors, and very powerful beings. Of course, in Chinese culture, they are representative of wisdom, and they are also tied in with the dragon energy, which I found really fascinating, because we just had the dragon year last year. And so for those two to kind of like coincide together in the Chinese, under the Chinese belief, is really interesting to me. So people born the year of the snake, according to Chinese culture, are seen as very highly intuitive, and they follow their own instincts to accomplish their goals. I feel like whatever year you are of whatever animal, I really highly suggest for you to just look up that animal and look up all the traits, look up all the different cultures and like what they believe, because I found it really interesting that I'm like big on feeling. I'm a big feeler. That's like the sense that I use as far as intuition. I also see visions, but like feeling is like a huge thing for me, and I feel a lot of stuff. So it'll tell you something very interesting about the animal that is representative of your birth year, and you will actually find that you embody a lot of those qualities unknowingly. Because like I said, I had no idea. Learning stuff about the year of the snake, it just kind of blew my mind, because I was also born the year of the snake. So I was like, that's so interesting that they're just very intuitive, but they can't really see. They have a hard time hearing. So snakes really are about feeling with their senses, their sense of smell, and feeling the vibration of their environment. They're very about feeling. So I have some cards that I wanted to pull for this year. And I don't know if you guys have any questions that are relevant to this. I will happily answer them if you have any questions. I'm really excited for this year, and I think this year, I have a feeling that this is going to be my year. I don't know why, but I just do. I was told by a psychic like 5 years ago that 2024 was going to be my year, and all I gotta say is, it didn't feel like the best year of my life, but I went through a lot of challenges and a lot of stuff. But I've healed from it, and I came out a different person. So I wouldn't say 2024 was the best year of my life. I think that psychic might have, maybe he got the year off, but my second daughter was born last year. She had a heart condition. She had to get heart surgery when she was 2 months old. It was the hardest time of my life, but it changed me as a person. I feel like I have a more open heart than I ever have in my life. I feel like I see people differently. I see life differently based upon me going through that challenge with her. She's the greatest blessing, and I love her so much, but it was a time. All right, so the cards that I got, the first card that came out was Gateway. It was reversed, but I feel like it being reversed is just kind of showing us like we have an opportunity to see the challenges as a gateway. I feel like a lot of people might think that there is no opportunity or there is no gateway, so that's why it was reversed. But I feel like this is like teaching us like this year, and I actually said this 5 minutes ago, but that this year is going to be a year of a gateway for big opportunities for growth, for healing, and changing different parts of our reality in order to experience a different reality. We also got Flow. Flow was the second card to come out. I feel like, as you already know, this year has already been off to a really interesting start, but it's going to also require us to flow with life and not be super controlling about our life and about our circumstances. There is a universal flow, a universal energy that flows through us, to us, all the time. If we allow a lot more in our life and we surrender more in our life, we can experience this magical universal flow. And I feel like this year is kind of about that. How much can you flow with certain circumstances in your life and what is occurring on the exterior of your life? I have been challenged with that recently, like you have no idea. And I had to keep telling myself, okay, this is occurring for whatever reason because the universe knows what it's doing, and I'm gonna flow. I'm just gonna trust it, and I'm just going to not react. So I've been doing good at that, and every time I do that, it changes the situation, and I end up experiencing or having the experience that I want to have. Opportunity came out too. So this is a really, really good card because, again, I've already talked about this. This year is an opportunity for growth, for expansion, for change, transformation within our life and for the collective and for everything that we're experiencing together on Earth. I really want to advise, if there's anything in your life that you know is toxic, it could be just eating really terribly or just having really toxic thought patterns. Anything, it doesn't have to be people, but whatever you know is toxic and whatever you feel that you are being urged to give up, highly, highly recommend that this is the year you commit to yourself and give it up. Because just like I was saying, where the snake has to shed its skin or die, I feel like the things we do not give up this year, that we are being pushed and nudged to kind of give up, it will deeply impact our life going forward. Meaning that if we continue to eat terribly, 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 with no care about our body, no care about our life, we will, possibly develop diseases in our body. It's the same thing with smoking or whatever you're feeling urged or called to give up. Also, these are the last two cards. We got Purity and we got Stillness. I feel like this is a purification year. I did a live video a few days ago about the purification process that we are going through. Everything that we are going to be experiencing collectively is to purify our earth, purify our consciousness, purify us, and to help us evolve higher. Nothing that we are going through is a detriment. It's for our highest and greatest good. That's about the surrender, about flowing, trusting. When you are trusting in the universal flow and you're trusting in the higher power, you already know that everything is divinely designed, which means that nothing is ever going to work against you. Everything is working for you. It requires your awareness and your trust in the divine and you responding how you should respond, from a place of love. Everything is going to draw you back into your heart if you're aware of it. And then stillness. I feel like this is really, really big because as AI is coming more and more online and there's like so much that's advancing with technology, we are being called to have stillness. It's okay to like social media and technology and all those fun things, but we have to remember that stillness is where we get a lot of our wisdom and where we get the answers that we are seeking to our problems, to whatever is occurring in our life. I promise you that if you can have at least like 10 to 15 minutes of stillness every day, you will transform your life like you wouldn't believe. And I promise you that. 10 to 15 minutes a day, stillness, quietness, turning off your phone or meditating. You can have hertz frequency sounds on or sound healing on. But if you commit yourself to having stillness every day, I promise you, you will change your life. That is all it took for me and to help me on my spiritual path. And a lot of people that I do meet, other spiritual teachers and people that are on the spiritual path, talk about meditating. And I'm telling you, it's really life changing. Really, it's amazing. So I highly recommend that. So yeah, that's the video, and I hope this Lunar New Year brings you so much fortune and blessings and good health. All of the things you are wanting to create in your life, you are the creator. So, you know, trust in what you are getting and trust that this year can be your year for transformation, because the snake energy, the wood snake energy, is huge for transformation and healing. And whatever you are wanting, you can call upon the wood snake to help you. And you can do that by sitting in stillness, sitting in meditation, and calling on that energy, just repetitively calling on the energy, saying you are one with the energy, you are embodying the snake energy, and listen to what you get. You might hear a word, or a thought might come to you. You might feel something, you might see a vision. I don't know how advanced you are on your journey, but pay attention to what you get and write it down, because that's going to be helpful for your journey. Also pay attention to your dreams, because you can also have really incredible prophetic dreams. So I hope that this video helped you, my friends. I hope it brought some good insight and everything. If you are wanting to get more information about these types of videos, please follow my channel, like, subscribe. That's where you will find all of my latest and greatest. So I love you guys so very much. And until next time, have an amazing year and many, many blessings to you. Bye.